Shalom, the water wa barakatham, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to my leaders, the apostles, the great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Lakamal back again, doing the will, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Lord willing, this will be edifying to the Lord's sheep. And what you see here is a quote that I got from Instagram. I think I got it from Daily Stoics page. And this is very important. And I'm going to read it. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. Now, we can't control the things that go on in our lives. All right? You know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. We are the Israelites. All right? We are the Lord's chosen people. And we're currently in captivity. We're in bondage. And we're in the hands of our enemies, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And due to our disobedience, you know, curses were put upon us. Okay? And we deal with many, many situations. All right? Whether it's personal or whether it's with, you know, dealing with people. And we can't control how people think. We can't control the way they move or the way they act. All right? And we can't control the trials and tribulations that we go through. Why? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah, He's in control. All right? But one thing we can control is the way we respond and react to what's happening. That's where your power is. That's true power. Being able to control the way we react and respond to different situations, to all situations. You know? Now, when I read this, I thought about self-control. Now let's go to Google. I looked up the definition of self-control. This is Oxford Languages for the definition of self-control. And it reads, the ability to control oneself, in particular one's emotions and desires, or the expression of them and one's behavior, especially in difficult situations, right? And this is true power. Being able to control our emotions, being able to control our behavior, the way we react, the way we, respond to things, especially in difficult situations. And me personally, this is what I'm striving for, self-control, just being disciplined, because it's beautiful when you discipline. It's a beautiful thing, There's a saying, discipline is mandatory. It's mandatory for salvation, especially in this truth. Now, one of the synonyms for self-control is self-discipline. I'm going to read it. Self-discipline, Oxford Languages. The ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. Now, me, I know my weakness. My weakness is, being angry. I'm going to be honest. So the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. See, so self-discipline and self-control is synonymous. They mean the same thing, all right? And self-discipline, self-control is powerful, right? Being able to control yourself, that tells a lot about you. Now I'm gonna go to the scriptures because the scriptures speaks about self-control. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28. It reads, "He that had no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls." So basically, this is saying a person without rule, control. You think of rule, you think of authority, dominion, control. All right. So it's saying he that had no control, self-control over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Now, in ancient times, cities builded walls around their community to basically prevent violence or invasion. Now, if you look at it in a spiritual sense, our spirit is like a city, right? And the walls is like the scriptures. Now, real quick, because remember I said in ancient times they builded walls to protect themselves from invasion or violence from the enemy. Now, this is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might." So this is the Apostle Paul, right? He encouraged us to be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And how do we do that? Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? And how do we put on the armor, the whole armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? We do that by applying the scriptures, okay? Because the scriptures is life. The scriptures have the answers to every situation that we go through. The holy scriptures is the blueprint to life. So we must put on the armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua by applying the scriptures, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, going to the trickery, the schemes, the strategies of the devil, all right? And the spiritual demon Satan, all right? This is his job. He go running to and fro in the earth, seeking whom he may devour. You know, his job is to sift us out of this knowledge, sift us out of the belief of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, so we must put on the armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the whole armor, that we may be able to stand against the wiles of Satan. Okay, and Satan, he is the adversary. He is the enemy. This is why I brought out how and why, shall I say, in ancient times, why there were walls built up around the cities. And they were built to prevent violence from the enemy, or invasion. And who is the enemy? Who is the adversary? When you look at it in a spiritual view, Satan. And if we don't have the whole armor, guess what? Satan gonna creep in. If he see a chink in our armor, he gonna throw a body shot to us or left hook, and we gonna fall. So we gotta put on the whole armor, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Let me read verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." You see? So we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Like earlier I stated how, we can't control how people react, and it really be Satan that be jumping on those people. Okay? He jumps on these people to try to bring us down and make us fold. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Right? So we dealing with evil spirits. Okay, this is a spiritual battle. Right? This is a spiritual war. We're in a spiritual army. All right? I keep reading. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem El-Shah, by applying the scriptures, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet should with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. That was the point. So we must put on the armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem El-Shah. Okay? We do that by applying the scriptures. Right? This is why we must meditate on the scriptures. Alright, let's go back to Proverbs. Alright, Proverbs 25 and 28. He that had no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls. So this means he that has no control, no self-control, no discipline, is like a city broken down without walls. He gets easily offended, upset, or angered. You know, it's easy to get under his skin. That's all Satan that's trying to get under your skin. But we gotta know how to dodge them spiritual bullets. This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. It reads, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. All right, so he that is slow to anger, he that is slow to get upset, slow to wrath is better than a brave and strong man, which is the mighty. You know, we want a tough guy, son. That's what that means. And he that ruleth his spirit, then he that taketh the city. So we know what it means to rule, to control, right? So he that ruleth his spirit, then he that taketh a city. So he that controls his spirit is better than he that captures a city. Now I want to go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11. It reads, the discretion of a man deferreth his anger. All right, so we look up discretion means prudence. Word prudence basically mean understanding, insight, right, which is wisdom, right? So the discretion or the prudence or the insight or the understanding of a man deferred his anger, meaning he prevent, all right, he controls his temper. And it is his glory to pass over a transgression, all right? So he with understanding prevents his anger, and he's slow to anger and overlook an offense. Look, you think of offense, you think of offend, which means to cause someone to feel upset or annoyed or resentful or any type of way, feeling bitterness or having, indignation at having been treated like unfairly. But we can't let Satan get to us. Remember, he's going to get to us through trials, tribulations, and through people. All right? we gotta have that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me spirit. We gotta practice self-control and discipline every day. This is something that I practice a lot. I try to do it to the best of my ability. We in the flesh, but discipline is very, very important. Now let's get Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. And it reads, he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. See, it's backing up Proverbs 19. He that is slow to wrath, which is anger, having a temper, is of great understanding, all right? That's that self-control. He's great of wisdom. But he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. So he that is few, that lacks knowledge, exalts folly. What's folly? Foolishness. Okay? So a person with a temper shows great stupidity, which is synonymous to foolishness. Now let's get James chapter 1, verse 19. This is James chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, meaning to be quick to hear. You gotta listen before you speak. Remember the saying, think before you speak. Slow to speak and slow to wrath, which is anger. Okay? For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Right? So some person with a bad temper that's always, quick to be angry, the Most High is not dealing with that. Now let's get Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath. So a soft answer or a gentle answer, it turns away anger. Like, for example, you go in the store, all right, and then a nigga just looking at you, probably groaning you. You say, what you looking at? You can either follow that nigga up and it leads to something else. It could lead to one of you being hurt, going in the hospital, or even dying. Or you could, if you follow him up, that's what that leads to. Or you could just answer him with soft words. You could say, yo, it's all good, brother. I ain't it's my fault, I apologize. That turn away wrath. Like, for example, I remember I was in the store, I'm making some tea. You see a nigga, he gonna leave his tea right under, where you pour under the hot water. He already got it made, but I guess he went in the back store to, simple niggas selling drugs and shit. But he come back, he gonna say, boy, why you over my tea? One, I just came in the store and I just see the tea sitting there. I'm like, yo, this nigga is simple. And I just looked at him for a minute. And I ain't gonna lie, I really was gonna react, but I just said, my fault, bro. And once I said that, he just, like, all that animosity just, it went down. He just like, damn. He felt wrong probably. 9 times out of 10 he did. So that's a perfect example. And, I ain't perfect at that, But I practice this to the best of my ability. But I'm going to read on. Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger, all right? So grievous words stirs up anger. Harsh words, that causes tension. And, shit could just go left. And that's not only, that's what, you can use this scripture for family, your loved ones, your rib, if a woman got a man, just use soft answers, man, and practice self-control. Because if we don't, it's going to lead to madness, confusion. It's going to lead to hurting one another. Verse 2, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge and right. So the tongue of a wise man useth knowledge, all right? And we know that the Holy Scriptures is the true knowledge, all right? This is the best knowledge ever, all right? So if we use this knowledge, we'll be all right in situations. But the mouth of fools pour out foolishness, see? And a fool exalts folly. So we must watch what we say, watch how we react, watch how we respond. Okay? Because if we don't, that means we don't believe in Yahweh Shemel Shah. He gave us the blueprint on how to move in all aspects of life, in all situations. So if we don't use this knowledge on a daily basis, the Lord will destroy us. He'll put us in a situation that will really fuck us up. Real talk. I think I'm gonna end here, but I got one more quote, and I'm gonna just end it off. I forgot where I got this from, probably from Instagram, son. But it reads, tip of the day. Train your mind to be calm in every situation. Lord willing, this was edifying to the Lord's sheep. Shalom.